Our only problem is that maybe the world doesn't know the next time you will hold your maandamano, how it will disrupt the business and many other things. And it is for that reason that the president has decided to engage more people so that there can be a political conversation, so that we don't solve our problems on the what? On the streets. If there's a political problem, let it not be solved on the streets, because that way we make our businesses difficult. I remember seeing some of the businesses that were banned, supermarkets and all that, and I want to say, as a leader from Nakuru, even here and Kenya, it pained me, because it means when you see that, it means dialogue has failed. So, and I also want to challenge the church. Yes, the political leadership has a role, but also the church has a role, so that we can train our people, bring the interests of the nation together, and ensure that we work together. Nakuru occupies a special place in my heart. I want to say that when I finished college, I worked in government for about 8 months in civil service. I was not satisfied, and I came to Nakuru. When I came to Nakuru, I had nothing. I literally stayed in a hotel for 6 months. And started working, doing business, and I grew, and I was serving the whole region up to Kisii, Kisumu, Eldoret. I was in the fuel business, and out of that, many things came after that. So I want to say this, that for those of you who are in the startup space, in the whole of Kenya, there is no better place for startup than Nakuru. All right? I personally saw it. I mean, I had no godfather, I had nobody. This is a place you can come with your rucksack and walk out as a governor, a minister, and nobody knows what else. Correct? In the retail sector, you are aware that Naivas started here in Nakuru. You are aware Nakumat, StageMart, and all the others. I'm yet to hear of those that started in other places. So there's something about Nakuru and startups. And I want to join you today in saying that for whatever you are doing, all of us who are there exhibiting and doing different businesses, there is a Kenyan culture of trying to show that what you're doing is just small. You know, I have a business, isn't it? I have a farm, I'm trying to, and I think this idea of trying to make whatever you're doing look small tends to undermine the very place you want to go. So if you want to proclaim your business to greatness, you must see it as such, isn't it? And I'm saying that because the steps and what you say of yourself informs how big your vision can be. And I have told you, you can start here and become the biggest player in whatever area you choose to be. And I have no doubt, because actually Nakuru, when you look at the cost of living in Nakuru is one of the lowest actually in the country. When you look at connection to all the entire big towns, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret, Nanyuki, Nyahururu, all those places, is actually the best in terms of connection. So my people who are here and trying to do business here and there, I think you're in the right place. You're in the right? The other unique thing about Nakuru is the multi-ethnic nature of Nakuru. I think this is the only place you can come and irrespective of your home, you feel at home. Not many towns and cities across Kenya give you that feel. And for that reason, those who are in holiday homes, those who want to do education, this is where you can have a school. And anybody from all over Kenya can bring their child to study here. If you're thinking of creating holiday homes for people who can no longer fit in their rural sort of setup, Nakuru, Naivasha, this whole belt is a place to be. And I want to say that as a person who also as part in my community, where you will retire, we put it like, Haria Gejero, okay, where my gray hair will be, and then is actually here. And I know that's where really the future is. Secondly, I think for the business people who are here, whom I would really want also to say we'll work together. And from where I sit in the ministry, we meet very many people who are coming to Kenya and they want to be connected with local Kenyan business people. Because nobody wants to come from out and start from scratch. So they want to see who are the people who can distribute for us, who can we be able to partner with, and I'll be happy to work with you to connect you with those international networks so that together, a few and some of you can be able to take up some of those opportunities and move forward. And I also remember, I think there's a lady who introduced herself here that she's from the hygienic butcheries. I'm sure you know that butchery in 58. For all those years, and that I think that is another example of resilience of Nakuru. I've known that butchery for over 20 years. Even her, as a young person, who, when you're free, would go there to take money, and then you get the meat. So again, the first lesson I want to give our people, in your businesses, involve your children. Involve your... This secrecy in business does not work. Because the day you are no longer able to run the business, it will go with you. It may even go ahead of. So involve your children, your family, the young people, so that the time when you're no longer there, your businesses can continue. And I'm saying this in the full knowledge that one of the biggest challenges you're having with African businesses, they don't live beyond the life of the founders. This is not the case with many other communities, and I want to single out like the Indian community. As business people, let's involve our family and our children. Let us mentor them. And if you have looked at some of the generations that have gone 3-4 generations, the goodwill created by the first generation is lost when the business ends there. But if you are carrying on a business that was started, has generational goodwill, and can be moved on to the next level, then you have somewhere to pick from. And this also goes a long way, even how we guide our children when it comes to careers they are going to take. So I think we found in our country, me, I'm probably a farmer, my son decides to be, I don't know, a what? IT, for example. You know, so we end up in very complicated area. But I want to tell you, all these people who are cited here as the richest people, and this is where I would have wanted to come, most of the people they have employed as their managers, including Warren Buffett, their CEO, is a who? Is a who? Is an Indian guy. All these guys we are talking about here. So I think there's a lot we can learn, but all I was trying to say, let's do businesses that can outlive us. Long after we are gone, they can live and move on. And one of the ways we have found is that once you start your business and it is succeeding, is you let it also have other people on board. In fact, actually, out of all those examples, they started with a good idea. Out of the good idea, they sold shares. Other people came in, they got the initial capital they had, and thereafter, the companies are running. The day they retire or they're old enough they want to work, they will just sell their shares and the company continues. Fast forward to the Kenyan situation. If you are the one who has started a company and you make a mistake of dying, your company also dies with you. So if we want to build wealth for our country and employ our people and our young people who are here, we must move forward. Look at how we can create businesses that have stability, can live beyond our own generation, and can create a value beyond where we sit. Allow me also quickly to mention that Kenya is in a very unique situation. I know sometimes we have not seen the best of ourselves, and have said the reason for that is because technically Kenyans are generally humble people. And nobody, in fact, even if you went to an international place and there are many nationalities, you can easily pick a Kenyan. Because they are humble, they will let people pass their way, but wait until you meet a Nigerian. He will say, excuse 1 kilometer away, so that everybody can make. But Kenyans are humble, they want to make their way, which is how we are. But also when it comes to business, it is they who shout the loudest that get the opportunity, that get the business. And I think this is really something that we must. So we have very good ideas. For example, I am not too sure that you know that the magic of M-Pesa is a story of conversation across the whole world.